Good morning or good afternoon to the first grade Great Oaks Legacy Charter School students. We are now in week 9 of remote learning. So for math this week, for week 9, we are going to learn non-standard measurement. Now, non-standard means we're not using a ruler to measure. Instead, we're using different objects to measure. This week, we're going to be using those different objects to measure other things. And we're going to be comparing objects to see their measurement. So let's get started. Now, this is a video over here from YouTube. It is a resource video. Because the audio will not play on this video, I am going to put the link to this video down in the description box of this YouTube video. So make sure you open the description box and you can click on the YouTube link and you can watch this video on your own. Now, this video is basically teaching us how to use paper clips to measure. Now, these are some really important reminders of what you need to do when you're measuring using a paper clip. Now, you could use a Unifix cube, a linking cube, like the ones that we have in class. You can use a paper clip, and of course, you can use a ruler to measure. But remember, this week, we're going to try to use a paper clip to measure objects. So these are some rules. You need to make sure that when you're measuring using paper clips, that they are straight, just like this. Make sure the item is straight. Make sure what you're using is also straight. And you need to make sure that they are not zigzagged like this. Make sure they're straight, just like this. The second rule is to make sure that there are no gaps, like this, and that they are not on top of each other or overlapping each other. They need to be side by side. Each edge needs to touch each other, so that way there are no gaps, and it needs to be straight like this. So these are some of the rules or reminders of what you need to do when you are measuring using a paper clip. So with that being said, let's get started with our first example. So using the paper clips as units of measurement, how long is the scissor? In this picture right over here, we see paper clips and we see a scissor. So to measure, remember, your paper clips need to be touching each other like this, side by side, right next to each other. There should be no gaps, and they should not be overlapping each other. And it needs to be at one end of the object to the other end of the object. Now, one way to do this is by drawing lines, just like this. You don't need to draw dotted lines. You could just draw a straight line to make sure that the paper clips is reaching one edge of the object to the other end of the object. So let's count how many paper clips there are. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there are 4 paper clips that is measuring this scissor. So that means the scissor is 4 units long because the paper clips is a unit of measurement that we're using. So we would say it's 4 units long. Now, we can also compare objects. In this picture over here, we can say that the tree is taller than the flower. We know that when we hear the word than, we're comparing. So we're comparing the tree to the flower. So the tree is taller than the flower. And the flower is shorter than the tree. So when comparing the tree and the flower, we know that the tree is taller than the flower and the flower is shorter than the tree. And we can even do it with other objects like the glue stick and a pencil. So the glue stick is shorter than the pencil and the pencil is longer than the glue stick. So using the words taller than, shorter than, or shorter than and longer than, we are comparing objects to each other. Now, length is how long something is. To compare length, it is to tell if the object is longer or if the object is shorter or if it's the same. So that's how we can tell when we're comparing the length of objects. Remember, the length is how long something is. So we have a purple crayon, a yellow crayon, and a blue crayon. We're going to compare the lengths of the crayons. So we could see that the purple crayon is longer than the yellow crayon because the purple crayon is all the way over here and the yellow crayon is shorter and it's right here. So the purple crayon is longer than the yellow crayon. If the purple crayon is longer than the yellow crayon, that means the yellow crayon is shorter than the purple crayon. So we know that the purple crayon is longer, the yellow crayon is shorter. If we compare the yellow crayon and the blue crayon is the same length as the yellow crayon. That means that they're the same length, they're the same. So we just saw which object is longer, which object is shorter, and which objects are the same length. Let's take a look at this example together. We have different pencils here. We have pencil A, pencil B, pencil C, and pencil D. We are going to compare these pencils. The first question says, which pencil is the shortest? Let's take a look. Is it A, B, C, or D? I think this answer is very obvious. You should have gotten B. Pencil B is the shortest. Our next question is, which pencil is the longest? This is also a very obvious question. When we look at all of the pencils, pencil C is the longest. It reaches all the way up to here. So pencil C is the longest pencil. Now it says pencil B is pencil A. We need to fill in the blank. We need to fill in the blank with the words longer than, shorter than, or the same length as. So pencil B, let's find pencil B. This is pencil B, and we need to find pencil A. This is pencil A. So how can we make this sentence true? Is pencil B shorter than pencil A? Is pencil B longer than pencil A? Or is pencil B the same length as pencil A? We see that this is pencil B. It only goes up to here next to pencil A. So pencil B is shorter than pencil A. So we know pencil B is shorter than pencil A because it only reaches up to here. Then let's get pencil C and pencil D. Let's make this sentence true. Pencil C is right over here and pencil D is right over here. So is pencil C shorter than pencil D? Is pencil C longer than pencil D? Or is pencil C the same length as pencil D? Our only answer could be pencil C is longer than pencil D because the pencil C is all the way up here and pencil D is only up to here. Let's look at our next one. Pencil A is pencil D. So we need to find pencil A. This is pencil A and pencil D. Now we need to compare pencil A and pencil D, and we need to find to make the sentence true. Is pencil A shorter than pencil D? Is pencil A longer than pencil D? Or is pencil A the same length as pencil D? Now, when I take my little pointer and I'm putting a line across it, you can tell that they are pretty much the same. They're the same length. So that means pencil A is the same length as pencil D. They're the same length. So we use the word shorter than, longer than, the same length as to make these sentences true. Let's take a look at our next example. It says, Bella used a piece of string that measured the distance from home to school. She took the same string and measured the distance from the school to the grocery store. Which path is shorter? Is the home to school shorter? Or is the school to the grocery store shorter? So it says Bella used a piece of string. She first measured the distance from home to school. So she measured the home to the school, just like that. So she took a piece of string and she measured the home to the school. Then she took the same string and she measured the distance from the school to the grocery store, just like this. If she used the same string, Does the string reach the grocery store? No. So that means the length from the school to the grocery store is a lot longer, like this. So, which is the shorter path? The path that is shorter is the home to the school. It's obvious that the home to the school has a shorter path than the school to the grocery store. So the answer is the home to the grocery store. Next, we're going to look at this example. We see different rectangles over here. We have a rectangle A, we have a rectangle B, and we have a rectangle C. The first question says, which is the longest rectangle? Let's see. We have A, B, and C. C only takes up 3 boxes. B takes up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes. And A, even though it's slanted, it doesn't seem as big as B. So the longest rectangle has to be B. Next question says, which is the shortest rectangle? I think that one's very obvious. The shortest rectangle has to be C. So C is the shortest rectangle. Let's look at the next question. If rectangle A is longer than C, the shortest rectangle is, if A is longer than C, then which one is the shortest one? The shortest rectangle is C. C is always going to be the shortest rectangle because A is longer than C and B is longer than C. Now we have to order the rectangles from shortest to longest. Remember, the shortest one comes first and the longest one comes last. So let's find the shortest one first. The shortest one is, we kept saying that the shortest rectangle is C. So first rectangle that is the shortest is C. Now we have to find the middle rectangle, the one that is right in the middle. Is it A or is it B? The answer is obviously A because we know that the A is not as long as B. And the longest rectangle is, just like we said before, is B. So this should be your answer. Now, we did several examples of measuring objects and comparing the lengths of objects. Now it's your turn to practice in your packet. You are going to watch this video. And remember, you could always watch this video again if you have any questions about it or if you get confused. And if you're still confused, remember, you could always reach out to your teachers. Good luck!